start things off with Sam Darnold. Have the Browns cooled on Darnold, Tom?
We'll give this one head. I have a tough time actually believing this because the Browns have kept this very close-knit and very quiet. I still think it's going to be Sam Darnold. Now, maybe the Browns will go with a guy like Baker Mayfield, or maybe they'll go with someone like Josh Allen. But my gut still tells me Sam Darnold. We'll see what happens. I think for the first time in a very long time, there's some genuine question around who will be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. But if I have to put my money on it, and I'm putting a very small and tiny bet, I'm still going to go with Sam Darnold at number 1.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
maybe there's some truth to it. I'm not really to totally dismiss it because I just don't know. But I'm not there yet. I still think it's going to be Sam Darnold in the end.
All right, so there's increasing buzz here as we get to rumor number 2 that the Browns could draft their number 4 overall pick. Tom, what do we know?
Well, I think they could trade it as well. And I think that's maybe why you see the report of, oh, there's Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield in the mix as well. Because if you're a team that wants Josh Allen or you want Baker Mayfield, and the Browns, the report before these two came out was that there'd been no interest in the number 1 overall pick. That there were no good offers. So maybe this is the Browns trying to generate buzz and trying to find a way to get a great offer for that number 1 overall pick, a mind-blowing offer that they can't say no to. But I don't know if they'll trade for. I think if a quarterback falls, be it Allen, Darnold, or Rosen, or Baker as well, which I don't think Baker's going to fall the past 3, which we'll get to here in a little bit.
Yep.
I just don't know if you're going to see the Browns actually make the trade at number 4. I think they might try and take a talent player to help them win right now, which is what John Dorsey and the Browns really want to do.
Speaking of trades, could the Packers be moving on up the board? Right now, they sit at number 14 overall, Tom. What do we think about this? 2 Goodell heads here.
We'll give it 2 Goodell heads. People are most certainly talking about this one, and I think it kind of makes some sense. I mean, let's think about it from the Packers' perspective. You have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. As long as he's healthy, you're not going to be in the top 10, really, ever. The closest you ever come now is now at number 14.
Yeah.
So if you have the chance to go get somebody, maybe you go do it. And if we don't have any particular names, but I'll throw out 2 that I think make a lot of sense for Green Bay. I think it's Derwin James and Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think they want one of those 2 guys, or some crazy miracle Bradley Chubb falls past 6. Maybe then it makes some sense, but I don't think Chubb's going to get past 4, 5, or 6 in the NFL draft. So I think they're looking at Derwin or Minkah, but we'll see what happens with Green Bay there. I think there are a lot of teams, and by the way, I'll mention this right now, I think the Colts are the ones doing all this. I think the Colts are trying like hell to move down from 6 if Chubb's off the board.
They're at the focal point of all this, it seems.
I think so.
All right, let's get to rumor number 4 here. The Patriots and Lamar Jackson, increasing buzz about these 2 sides here, perhaps eventually coming together.
We'll give it 2 heads. The reason it's only 2 is because I think the Patriots would love to get Lamar Jackson to be a fantastic fit for him as well. And he did visit twice with the Packers, once a private workout in Florida and then one in Foxborough. So you're able to do that twice if you're Jackson and the Patriots. But I think they'd have to move up for him. And I don't know if that's going to end up being the case there. And I don't know if they'd actually find a way to trade up in the NFL draft.
All right, so 2 Goodell heads there.
Or if they would be willing to move up either.
2 Goodell heads there on the New England Patriots. Let's go to rumor number 5. Are the Cardinals trading up?
Again, 2 heads. There have been quite a few talks about the Cardinals making calls to trade up and trying to find a way to move up and get a talented quarterback like Josh Rosen or a Lamar Jackson potentially either. I don't know. And I think, again, there are a lot of teams that are trying to trade up, which I find interesting. Normally, it's the opposite. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a team trying to generate buzz of, oh, this team. They're all trying to trade up. So you got to trade with us if you want to do that. So there's a lot of buzz, and it is lying season in general. So just kind of keep an eye on that. I don't know what will happen in the end with the Cardinals. I would not be surprised if they went up to get someone like a Josh Rosen. Maybe they don't
have a lot draft capital, by the way.
They are a little light on capital. I think that they're trying to win right now. I don't know if a quarterback does that because I think the Cardinals think they can win right now. And I don't know if that's actually the case at all.
All right, rumor number 6 on our list here. How about the Raiders trading down? Sounds like John Gruden wants to address a lot of areas here.
I think that if they don't get a linebacker, if Roquan or Edmonds isn't on the board, I think they might want a tackle like a Colt Miller or Mike McGlinchey, and 10 is too early. So in that case, you do try and trade down and get extra assets and still get the guy you want, which McKenzie's done in the past. He did it, by the way, with DJ Hayden. Did the exact same thing. A guy that he liked, knew he could trade down and still get him, and he did just that. Now, of course, that pick did not work out very well. Hopefully, in theory, it would work out better for Oakland. But I just don't know if they're actually going to trade down, especially if Roquan's on the board. And not to mention that dream scenario, who knows if a quarterback actually does fall? And if that does happen, wouldn't the Colts and even potentially the Bears and the Niners all try and trade down too?
Yeah, plenty of teams there.
So it requires a lot of ifs to get that then scenario.
All right, so 2 Goodell heads on the Raiders trading back. How about the latest on Dez Bryant? Are we looking to post-draft here for Dez to find a new team?
4 heads on this one. In fact, Cam, he turned down a multi-year offer from the Ravens. He wants a 1-year deal that will allow him to re-enter free agency after a year, in theory, after a bounce-back year, and then, recoup some of those losses that he would have had for the Cowboys the next 2 seasons based on that contract. I think it makes sense for Dez. Why sign right away? Wait and see what happens. Wait to see who adds a receiver in the draft, and then say, okay, cool, I'm going to sign with you. Give me my 1-year deal, and we're going to go back and figure out what we're going to do there. So I think it makes a lot of sense for Dez to wait a year, or not wait a year, wait till after the draft. And I think from a team perspective, just wait. See what you get in the draft. If you have a receiver fall to you that you love, but you sign Dez Bryant, you're like, could have gone somewhere else. So I think it makes sense for all parties involved to wait on that decision.
Some teams I'm watching out for in terms of signing Dez Bryant, maybe the 49ers, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Texans. I got the Patriots up there in my rankings as well, Tom. We want the folks, of course, to weigh in on where they think Dez Bryant will sign. And, Tom, if you had to pick a team, where are you going?
I think the Bills make a lot of sense just from a knee perspective. And if you want to win now, if you're Dez Bryant, you want to have a big year, how about the Saints?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they brought in Meredith, but they lost Snead. How about Nola?
All right.
It'd be a good fit.
I like it.
I don't know if the money's there, and then that's the big issue in the end.
Sure. All right, let's get to the next rumor on our list, talking about Earl Thomas to the Dallas Cowboys.
It
this
just
rumor
won't die.
Is just living and living and living. 2 heads here.
It won't die until Thomas signs an extension with somebody, most likely Seattle. Look, we'll stick with 2 heads as we've given it the entire time. The Cowboys and Seahawks have had talks, and those talks were revisited earlier last week, right around the time that Dez was cut. But the issue is Seattle has a high asking price, and rightfully so. Dallas, I don't think will give anything more than a second-round pick, and Seattle won't do that. The theory for Dallas and why it's still rumor is that, well, maybe once we get to the draft, Seattle will go, okay, we used our first-round pick. Oh, crap, we have nothing from round 2 to round 3, and they have a lot of needs, of course, trading away ET costs a need there. If I have to guess, I don't think it would happen, but there's definitely going to be more discussion between those 2 parties during the NFL draft. Maybe if Seattle really thinks they're not going to sign Thomas, maybe they make a deal, but I think they want to do that because Seattle's mindset, they are not rebuilding. If they are, they would trade him.
Sure.
But they're not rebuilding. They are resetting. That research to him looks quite a bit like a rebuild as far as I'm concerned.
Sounds like wordplay to me.
It is wordplay, and wordplay is fun.
All right, let's go to the next rumor here, talking about the Dallas Cowboys some more. How about Leighton Vander Esch? What's the deal with him in Dallas?
I think the Cowboys absolutely love Vander Esch. There was also a report the team views him as Brian Urlacher 2.0.
Ooh.
From an athletic traits-only perspective, kind of actually makes some sense because he's big and he's fast, and you don't find linebackers like that very often. From an on-the-field play perspective, I will politely disagree with the Cowboys' assessment there. Yeah, the upside's there, but he doesn't play as physical as Urlacher did. He's kind of more of a run-and-chase guy, a weak-side linebacker than a true middle. But if he's on the board, Cam, I really do think that Leighton Vander Esch would be the pick for the Dallas Cowboys.
There you go. The latest rumors across the NFL as we get you set for the 2018 NFL Draft, which you can watch right here on Chat Sports Facebook Live and YouTube Live, 8 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow night.